All right, if you resonate with this message, this will be about someone who you're cutting off, right? You had enough, you're moving forward, and you're stepping into your power. In this person's energy, you weren't able to be in your feminine energy. You weren't able to just sit back, relax, trust them, love them, right? Because they probably were a person who couldn't give or receive love. So it was a one-sided connection and you was doing all the work, right? And you was also doing some of the work that didn't necessarily needed to be done on your end. You could have been getting gaslit, manipulated in all different types of forms. So where you tried to take a look at yourself, because you know how so many people are like, oh, well, sometimes it's you. People mirror you. And all this stuff. But you know the energy you came in when you connected to these people. You were truthful, right? You were honest. You came in, I'm telling you, focusing on them and only them. So I don't know why you guys broke up, why you're wanting to just rid this person from your life, but I'm sure you have valid reasons. Now this person is trying to come back in. My thing is, they need to remember how they treated you, because this is not y'all first rodeo. You tried to stick around for as long as you could. You tried to accept their apologies and take them back to the point to where you just couldn't do it no more. At this point, they were apologizing several times out the week. You know, it's just you will be boo boo the fool. And last time I checked, that's not you. You're the empress. You're the emperor. Nowhere near your name is boo boo nor fool inside of it. Okay. This, however, is Lil Boo Boo. And they must be a goddamn fool to fumble somebody like the high priestess slash empress slash emperor. Right? But let's just get some. I feel like this is a person that tried to say that they love you. And I remember on Xavier Entertainment's Instagram, he had mentioned a lot of men would like to use that type of tactic of I love you to he really he put it all together. I just love looking at videos from Xavier Entertainment, Yada Awakening, and the Derek Jackson, and the list goes on, because it's almost like they're not even a woman, but they speak 100% on what you feel and how you feel. And even with them being a male, maybe we ain't gonna get into it, but all I know is he had mentioned how a lot of men use the I love you tactic, when in reality your actions don't give you love me though. Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to just keep me in your life or something? Are you trying to constantly apologize and say you love me just so, like, what? Because maybe the actions is not giving. And I know I came across this other young lady who I resonate with, because it's like, dang, what did she, Jonesy, move, girl. Sorry about that. You didn't have to move way over there, but okay. But yeah, I feel like don't ever take this personal, right? There's a lot of internal conflict going on. People are going to project their fears, their opinions, their own perspective and energy onto you, right? I feel like you meant well. I feel like you tried as much as you could. And it's just nobody's fault here, right? Because I don't want you to start hating this person, gaining resentment. Some of us move on a little better when we feel like we have hatred towards this person. But in reality, just see them as an individual who didn't have the proper guidance or care as a child, right? And this is not an excuse. This is not validation, because we all go through similar traumas or experiences in our life. And, you know, that doesn't mean we become this horrid individual that commits heinous crimes or activities, right? So it's not an excuse. But this is just to help you with enlightenment, especially if you're a sensitive person, you're a deep feeling individual, you take things personal at times, right? Because of this big heart you have. You may be a person that wears your heart on your sleeve. I just can't understand, why would they do this? How could they do this? That can give you enlightenment, that it's never personal. Okay? But my thing is, people are grown. They're 21 or older, right? Pretty grown. And even if they were 20 or 18, they still know better, right? So this person, they're trying to come in hot. this person may try to pop up on you, right? Especially if they don't have it in their mind that, okay, this person doesn't want to see me. They're setting their boundaries, etc. Some of these people know you have your boundaries up and they still trying to, come into your space. This may end up being a part 2. But all I know is these same individuals who are trying to get back into your energy, trying to talk to you, it was times when they didn't want to talk to you, right? It was times when, like, for instance, say if some of y'all are pregnant and you probably was like, well, I'm gonna get an abortion because and a lot of people won't understand that. That's why you got to be mindful on where you use that word at, because some people, they're gonna make you feel bad. They're gonna say, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, or you're going to hell. So when it comes to Christian people or people who still have that type of mentality or closed-mindedness, you may not want to share that type of information with them. Now, if it's your actual baby dad, I mean, it's fine if you share that with them. Who gives a damn if they understand or not, right? But so far as like when it comes to just venting or actually wanting advice, I should say, be mindful on where you use that at, right? But yeah, some of these people, you wanted to talk to them, you wanted to be around them, you wanted to create a better life with you all, and it's always like they made it harder for you all to do this. All of a sudden they talking to you like you're scum on the bottom of their shoe, treating you like you're scum on the bottom of their shoe, not taking your feelings into consideration, possibly blaming you for how the connection is the way that it is now. It's almost like when you try to comment on a way that you're feeling, they reverse it around and say, well, I feel that way too. What about you? What, da-da-da. You just the perfect one? You gonna throw this all in my face? Da-da-da. We don't need that type of energy. I already know it's divine masculines out here that won't even utter any single word as such, because they have the emotional, mental, spiritual, whatever capability to be in your life eternal wise, like eternal love. Okay? Not everybody does. But why constantly dim your light, become codependent, and all this other energy towards scumbags, dirtbags, okay? Dusty bums, right? I don't care if it's family, friends, romantic partners. Oh, we knew each other for 12 plus years. Oh, this was a childhood friend. Or, we got married, we have kids. All of that goes out the window because all of that is 3D plane stuff. A lot of things are bigger than what's going on 3D plane, because a lot of this is about soul's growth, right? Breaking those generational curses. You see how many people continuing to be in relationships that aren't healthy for them, having kids that will get trauma. You know how scientists be like, they be predicting the future and they'll tell you, well, by the time it gets 2026, there will be an epidemic of about 1 million people who gets at least one STD. I'm like, damn, how y'all? So it's giving like that type of energy. Like, it's almost something that you have to just trust in your intuition with. Not everybody will understand it. But that's the thing. If we all were meant to be the same and think the same, we would not be autonomous. So you have to deprogram to reprogram, because sometimes you'll even confuse yourself and you'll even start backpedaling, right? I remember I started I believed heavily in spirituality, and before I become spiritual, I know I had believed in psychology. So just to talk to this person, I was trying to balance out psychology and spirituality to make it work. Even that didn't work. And I know I had came across I think her name is Sana on Instagram or something like that. She was mentioning, babe, if it's just not working out, you tried everything you could, that means that your soul has outgrown this individual, or y'all are just not meant to be, either right now or ever. And I'm like, it's always confirmation after confirmation. So for some of y'all, get off of TikTok, get off of Facebook, right? Well, I'm going to just mainly say TikTok. I don't know how y'all algorithm is on Facebook or Instagram, but mine is pretty lovely, right? But when I go on TikTok, it's always something that's trying to reel me back into this person that I know is not good for me, my mental health or my spiritual growth. So maybe you can try to go on Instagram or something like that instead and find you a message that resonates. Because every time I go on Instagram, honey, it's always confirming exactly what I was saying, exactly what my intuition was telling me, and all of that. But let's go ahead and go into part 2. See you there.